Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna Prabhu Ji, Danda Pranam,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna devotees,
Ram,
start with Mangalacharan, then we'll continue the reading. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta
Hare
Swamine
Krishna,
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Okay, let's continue with our prayers. Anybody would like to sing today? Okay, I'm sharing the screen. All right, so let me sing then, and then we'll read the translations. Singing from Bhaja Govindam Stotram by Sripad Adi Shankaracharya, the final set of verses. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karane, Bhagavad Gita Kinjidadita, Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita, Sakradapiyena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena Charcha Punarapi Jananam Punarapi Maranam Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam Iha Samsare Bahudustare Kripaya Pare Pahi Murare Ratyacharpata Virachita Kantha Punya Vivarjita Pantha Yogi Yogini Yojita Chetto Ramate Balon Mattavadeva Kastvam Koham Kuta Ayatah Kame Janani Kome Tatah Iti Paribhavaya Sarvamasaram Vishvam Tyaktva Swapna Vicharam Tvai Mai Chanya Traiko Vishnu Vyartham Kopyasi Maya Saheshnu Bhava Samachitta Sarvatra Tvam Vanchasya Chiradya Divishnutvam Shatrau Mitre Putre Bandhau Ma Kuruyatnam Vigraha Sandhau Sarvasminnapi Pashyatmanam Sarvatrot Srija Bheda Jnanam Kamam Krodham Lobham Moham Tyaktvatmanam Bhavayakoham Atmajnana Vihina Mudha Te Pachante Narakani Gudha Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram Deyam Shripati Rupamajasram Neyam Sajjana Sange Chetam Deyam Dina Janaya Chavettam Sukhatah Kriyate Rama Bhoga Paschadhanta Sharire Roga Yadyapi Loke Maranam Sharanam Tadapanamunchati Papa Charanam Arthamanartham Bhavaya Nityam Nasti Tatah Sukhalesha Satyam Putradapi Dhana Bhajam Bhiti Sarvatraisha Vihiyariti Prana Yamam Pratyaharam Nitya Viveka Vicharam Japya Sameta समाधिविधानं कुर्ववधानं महादवधानं गुरुचरणाम्बुज निर्भरभक्तः संसारादचिराद्भवमुक्तः सेन्द्रियमानस नियमादेवं द्राक्षाशी निजहृदयस्थं देवं मूढकश्चन वैयाकरणो दुःकृन्करणाध्यायनधुरिणः श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवच्छिष्यै बोधित आशिष शोधितकरणः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते नामस्मरणधन्यम् उपायं न हि पश्यामो भवतरणे भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति दुःकृन्करणे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। भज गोविंदम स्तोत्रम की जय। श्रीपाद आदि शंकराचार्य की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Okay, we will read translations from 21 to 34. Anybody would like to read today?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, good. Aarti Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Let a man read but a little from the Bhagavad Gita, drink just a drop of water from the Ganga, worship Murari, Krishna just once. He then will have no altercation with Yama, the Lord of Death. Born again, death again, birth again, to stay in the mother's womb, it is indeed hard to cross this boundless ocean of samsara. O Murari, redeem me through thy mercy. There is no shortage of clothing for a monk so long as there are rags cast off the road. Freed from the vice and virtue, onward he wanders. One who live in communion with God enjoys bliss pure and uncontaminated like a child and as someone intoxicated. Who are you? Who am I? From where do I come? Who is my mother? Who is my father? Ponder thus, look at everything as a senseless and give up the world as an idle dream. In me, in you, and in everything, none but the same Vishnu dwells. Your anger and impatience is meaningless. If you wish to attain the quality of Vishnu soon, have some bhav always. Do not waste your effort to win the love of or to fight against friend and foe, children and relatives. See yourself in everyone and give up all feelings of duality completely. Give up lust, anger, infatuation, and greed. Ponder over your real nature. Fools are they who are blind to the self. Cast into hell, they suffer there endlessly. Regularly recite from Bhagavad Gita, meditate on Vishnu in your heart, and chant his thousand glories. Take delight to be with the noble and the holy. Distribute your wealth in charity to the poor and the needy. He who yields to lust for pleasure leaves his body a prey to disease. Though death brings an end to everything, man does not give up the sinful path. Wealth is not welfare. Truly, there is no joy in it. Reflect this at all times. A rich man fears even his own son. This is the way of wealth everywhere. Regulate the pranas, life airs within. Remain unaffected by external influences and discriminate between the real and the fleeting. Chant the holy name of God and silence the turbulent mind. Perform these with care, with extreme care. O devotee of the lotus feet of the Guru, may thou be soon free from samsara. Through disciplined senses and controlled mind, thou shalt come to experience the indwelling Lord of your heart. Thus was a silly grammarian, lost in rules, cleansed of his narrow vision, and shown the light by some Sankara's apostles. Worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda, O fool. Other than chanting the Lord names, there is no other way to cross the life's ocean. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ati Mataji. Okay, yes, as Shankaracharya is saying, we have to read little Bhagavad Gita. If we read just a little Bhagavad Gita, drink a sip of Ganga water, then we will never have to take interview with Yamaraj. So similar message Prabhupada was giving yesterday, and he was reading as his disciples were saying. He was reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita every single day, one chapter, and Prabhupada says that wherever Bhagavad Gita is recited, that place becomes a tirtha, a holy place. And when it's a holy place where saints live, then Yamaraj doesn't have the permission to even enter there. So yeah, we should all read Bhagavad Gita. And that is the Sandesh, like we were saying yesterday. Prabhupada went to London. He's currently in London, in UK, trying to establish Krishna consciousness there. That has the young devotees, young disciples have already started. And with the support of the Beatles, they are about to continue their preaching there. And like Prabhupada came to London, and somebody asked him, why have you come here? He said, I have come here to give you something that you forgot to take when you came to India. Right? They plundered all the wealth and riches of India, but they forgot to take the invaluable jewel of our Vedic culture, which was Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada says, I have come here to give you Bhagavad Gita that you forgot to bring when you came from India. So that was his Sandesh, that was his message. And we also saw how he was lovingly teaching his disciples to prepare Sandesh, a very nice, sweet, Bengali sweet that even Krishna used to like. So Prabhupada is lovingly teaching his disciples not just the process of reading from the scriptures, but everything that is tied with bhakti is so sweet and sublime, be it as sweet as Sandesh. Okay, and also Prabhupada was teaching them some new bhajans that the acharyas have given us. So that's another reason why we sing these prayers in the morning, because these prayers by our acharyas are so powerful, so potent, that just by reciting them, just like we recite Bhagavad Gita, and we don't have to take interview with Yamaraj, similarly by reciting these prayers, we actually understand the deeper mood and surrender of how the acharyas surrender to the Lord. So by reciting these prayers, we also pray to them, and these are actually their words. So when we sing them, they are pleased, and when they are pleased, then they bless us with their mercy, and through their mercy we can go back home, back to Godhead, like little Saraswati we were reading yesterday, and they're saying she was a pure soul. Prabhupada saw her as a pure soul, but since she was in a small body right now, as a child body, Prabhupada was teasing with her, playing with her, but just because she was connected to Srila Prabhupada, she will be attracted and she will be attached back to Krishna. So similarly, when we recite these prayers, we attach with our acharyas, then through their mercy, we will be connected back to the Lord. So that is the process. Okay, so Prabhupada is currently answering some questions. He lectured in the Camden Town Hall yesterday. We saw one Indian woman and some people were asking questions. So we'll continue from here. A young hippie stood up. Okay, anybody would like to read today? No? Okay, then I'll continue. Alright, so a young hippie stood up and shouted, "Hey Swamiji!" People in the audience turned around and looked. "You said, if we are not careful, in the next life we will become a dog. But I want to tell you that I don't mind if I become a dog in my next life." "You have my blessings," said Prabhupada. And the young man sat down. One night, lectures in scattered places around the city proved further the need of a temple. Prabhupada had experienced a similar situation in New York City in 1965. At that time also, he had no temple. His audiences would listen respectfully and then disperse, and he would never see them again. To become Krishna conscious, however, a person needed to hear about Krishna repeatedly. and for that a temple was required. Once Prabhupada had his temple established in London, thousands would be able to come and hear about Krishna, take prasadam, and appreciate the lovely deity form of the Lord. A temple would provide guests with regular, intimate contact with the devotees of the Lord, and this was essential. In the absence of a temple, however, Prabhupada was prepared to go on lecturing all over London. Krishna's teachings, Krishna's kirtan, and Krishna's prasadam were absolute good. They would act regardless of the external situation. Conway Hall was a 500-seat auditorium in Red Lion Square in central London. By arranging a series of 12 lectures over the next 3 months, the devotees hoped to oblige Prabhupada to stay in England at least that long. Guru Das had drawn up a list of lecture titles and printed 50,000 handbills. Admission would be 2 shillings and 6 pence. The first night at Conway Hall, about 100 people attended. Prabhupada sat on a cushion atop a table, leading Kirtana, while his disciples sat on the floor. Yamuna played harmonium, and Mukunda and Kulashekara played mridangas. Prabhupada's Radha Krishna deities stood on their altar on a separate table beside Prabhupada. A Hare Krishna mantra banner hung against the black wall. Guru Das had built tonight's lecture, Teachings of the Vedas, and Prabhupada explained that Vedic teachings can be understood only by hearing them from self-realized saints. After Prabhupada's lecture, that audience gave a sustained round of applause. Prabhupada answered questions and had Yamuna lead a final kirtan. The next day, Prabhupada wrote to a Dr. Shyam Sundar Das Brahmachari in India. I spoke for about an hour, and after that they continued clapping, which confirms their appreciation. At the second Conway Hall engagement, when Prabhupada stood during the kirtana and began to dance, the devotees on stage joined him, dancing in a circle. Ishana played his trumpet, and even Saraswati, her diapers showing beneath her short dress, jumped up and down in ecstasy. Each week would bring another Conway Hall meeting, and Prabhupada's dancing became a regular feature. One night at Conway Hall, an Englishman stood and asked, "Why is it you don't try to help the people of your own country? Why did you come so far? Why don't you simply approach the big politicians? There are big politicians to try to help there." Prabhupada, "You are a great politician, therefore I am approaching you. Is that all right?" Another man asked, "If this is the absolute truth, how come there are so many people in London but not so many people are in attendance here?" Prabhupada, "When you are selling diamonds, you don't expect many customers. But if you are giving cut glass, the fools will come. We have a very precious thing, this Krishna consciousness movement. Don't expect that all the foolish people will take to it. Some sincere souls have come. You please also take it." Prabhupada felt encouraged by the response of the English. Regularly, the audiences would join in the chanting and dancing. In London, things are going on nicely, and last evening we had a meeting in Conway Hall and several hundred persons were joining us in chanting and dancing. After the meeting, one reporter from the biggest London newspaper came behind the stage to get further information about our movement for publication in his paper. So, I am very encouraged to see the nice reception that the people and the news medias are giving to our activities in London. Late in October, Prabhupada spoke at the English Speakers Union to a predominantly Indian audience. He began his talk. "Although we are a small gathering today, this is a very important meeting. India has got a message. You are all respectable Indians present here in an important city of the world, London, and I have come here with an important mission. It is not the same mission as Indians generally have, who come here and to other foreign countries to beg something. I have come here to give something. So, you please try to cooperate with me." On October 30th, Prabhupada lectured at Oxford Town Hall. His talk was basic, although embellished with more Sanskrit quotes than usual. His disciples had not expected much of a response from the Oxford students, yet the hall was filled. And when Prabhupada stood and gestured for everyone to raise their hands and dance, practically the entire audience responded. While Mukunda played the huge pipe organ and hundreds joined the chanting, Prabhupada held his arms high and began powerfully jumping up and down. Yesterday, we had a very successful meeting at Oxford at the town hall. About 350 boys, girls, old men, ladies and gentlemen participated, and we made them all dance and chant with us. Everyone. After the meeting, many boys and gentlemen came to congratulate me. Prabhupada received an invitation to appear on Britain's most popular TV talk show, Late Night Lineup. The interviewer, accustomed to snappy repartee, tried to engage Prabhupada in a style of conversing, avoiding long philosophical answers. "Swamiji," he asked, "do you have a concept of hell in your religion?" "Yes," Prabhupada replied. London is hell. The host appeared stunned, as if beaten at his own game from the start. Prabhupada continued, "It is always damp, cloudy, and raining. In India, the sun is always shining." The interviewer was still at a loss for words, and Prabhupada, perhaps sensing the man's embarrassment, added, "Of course, it is a very great credit to the English people to have established such a great civilization in such a climate." There were other questions, and Prabhupada talked for an hour explaining the Krishna consciousness movement and philosophy. The next day, a London newspaper announced, "Swami calls London hell." The Hare Krishna mantra record was still high on the charts in England and throughout the continent, and this fame led a Dutch television company to invite Prabhupada's disciples to Amsterdam, all expenses paid, to do a show. They would have only 5 minutes of airtime, but Prabhupada accepted it. 5 minutes, he said, is sufficient. We will preach the whole philosophy of Krishna consciousness in 5 minutes. Prabhupada and his party took the ferry from Dover across the English Channel to France and then traveled to train by Amsterdam. The television studio located outside the city was in a modern air-conditioned building with constant loudspeaker announcements, artificial plants, a TV in every room, but no windows. The receptionist brought Prabhupada and his disciples to a windowless room with painted concrete walls. In India, Prabhupada said, "We wouldn't consider living in a place without windows and fresh air. I want to sit by a window." So the devotees checked through the entire building until finally, in the third floor hallway, they found a window. Moving their chairs with them, they went with Prabhupada and sat by the window. "By the year 2000, no one will see the light of day," Prabhupada said. "Cities will be forced to live underground. They will have artificial light and food, but no sunlight." The producer of the program arrived, surprised to find that the Swami was also going to be part of the act. The surprise was a pleasant one, and he welcomed Prabhupada to his show. "Now, what I want you and your group to do," he explained, "is to sing your record, Hare Krishna mantra. You don't have to actually sing out loud. We are going to play your record and you mime. Pretend you are playing those instruments. Pretend you are singing." He allowed that afterward Prabhupada could speak for 2 minutes. Just before Prabhupada and the devotees went on stage, they had to wait in the wings while a local Dutch group danced around, pretending to play their saxophones, trumpets, and drums. Then the producer brought in a table with a cushion on it for Prabhupada and seated the devotees around Prabhupada on the floor. The cameras began, the record played, and the devotees started to mime. Suddenly, clouds produced by dry ice rolled in on the set, a mystical effect. As the devotees disappeared under clouds of carbon dioxide, only Prabhupada remained clearly visible. Seeing the special effect unsuccessful, the producer motioned the devotees to stand and dance beside the Swami. The song ended and a camera closed in on Prabhupada. "Now you have 2 minutes, Swamiji," the producer said. Prabhupada began. "We have been chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. This is a transcendental sound vibration, non-different from the Lord. The Lord's name and His form are the same. Please chant this sublime sound and your life will become perfect. You will become happy and you will realize your true nature, that you are an eternal servant of God, Krishna. This process is called Bhakti Yoga, and we request everyone to take to this chanting. Thank you very much." Prabhupada was pleased as his disciples' record continued to be a hit in Europe. The Hare Krishna record is selling very nicely. Yesterday it sold 5,000 copies, and this week it is on the chronological list as 20. They say next week it will come to be 3, and after that it may come to number 1. So they are very much hopeful of this record. To Satsvarupa in Boston, Prabhupada wrote, "The Hare Krishna record is going on in England nicely, and I heard that in Australia it stands 4th on the list of 50 important records." Hare Krishna mantra became the number 1 song in West Germany, number 1 in Czechoslovakia, and among the top 10 all over Europe and even in Japan. With the income from the record, the devotees began paying their bills and financing the renovations of the Bari Place temple. Sometimes the devotees would perform at concerts with professional groups, and sometimes they would receive invitations to appear in nightclubs. After one particularly late and nasty nightclub engagement, Yamuna went to Prabhupada and told him what the place had been like. Prabhupada called for all the devotees. "These places," he explained, "are not good for brahmacharis. The principle is that we have to make devotees. So we have to think where we are going. If we are going somewhere to preach, but we can't make any devotees there, what is the use? So we have to think like that." He said he wasn't forbidding them to preach in the nightclubs, but he told them to be careful. One of the devotees asked if showing slides of Krishna mixed in with the psychedelic slides was permissible. Prabhupada said no. Krishna should be on a throne or on altar. If they watered Krishna consciousness down, it would become idol worship. Now, not since Prabhupada had first left India in 1965 Had he preached to Indians as extensively as now, Indians would always attend his lectures, even if they didn't dance and chant, they appreciated Krishna consciousness. Even before Prabhupada's arrival in England, a few Indians had stepped forward to help the devotees, and now the majority of Prabhupada's occasional guests at Tittenhurst were Indians. Bringing their families, they would sit and chat with Prabhupada, often inviting him to their homes for dinner. Kedarnath Gupta. Prabhupada agreed to come to our house. We received him with a warm welcome, and many other people also came to hear him. He was very much pleased to see that we had our family deities of Radha and Krishna given by my mother, and he commented, "I am very much pleased to come to this place and see that Radha and Krishna are here." He gave a very nice lecture and told that the purpose of the human form of life is self-realization. He said one should be inquisitive to know who he is. All those assembled who had come to hear him were very much pleased and impressed by his lecture. After his lecture, I did the arati, and we offered the foodstuffs to the deity, and then we distributed prasadam to everyone. Prabhupada took the prasadam, and he was very much pleased to take prasadam in our house. As he was leaving, I requested him, "When can I see you next?" He said, "You can see me any time you want." Sometimes there would be disagreements over philosophy, but Prabhupada's arguments were always convincing. The Indians were respectful to Prabhupada and repeatedly invited him to their homes. One of the Britain's most prominent and respected Indians visited, Praful Patel, as did many businessmen with means to help Prabhupada's mission, but few were willing to sacrifice. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll pause here this morning. Continue from here tomorrow. Yes, so Prabhupada is preaching left, right, center, bold and beautiful as always. He never wanted to water down the philosophy. He came to give the genuine product, right? So like today, these days, we see products, so many counterfeit products, duplicate products and cheap quality, right? So like that, but this is purest of pure. Like you said, this is a crest jewel. Bhakti is the topmost gift, and it is the diamond. That's why we call it as Chintamani, right? So Nam Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purn Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bhinnatvam Namina. So the name of the Lord and the Lord are non-different, and there is like Chintamani is like a desire fulfilling jewel, and Prabhupada never wanted to dilute that. So only that's why he says only those who are sincere, who have that spiritual wealth, the bank balance that we carry from one life to another, that is the only bank balance that we carry, is the spiritual bank balance. The bhakti that we do now, the chanting, the reading, the kirtan, the association with saintly people, reading from scriptures, right? All these limbs of bhakti that we perform, this is the only thing that carries with us into our next life, and that is what inspires us, and that is what attracts us towards bhakti. When we see a saintly person, a representative of the Lord, we see not everybody gets attracted, right? Like Adrega is giving an example. We see here in America, London, all over Western world, people are so attracted to all the sports, and like thousands of people go there, 50,000, 75,000, almost 100,000 people sometimes go to these stadiums to watch some mundane games which give them pleasure for 2 hours maybe, and then, but when we have a Harikatha, we see only 100, 200 devotees come, right, from the whole millions of people in the city. So, but that is what Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, not everybody, right? Only Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samhatma Sudurlabha. Such Mahatmas are very, very durlabha. They're very, very rare. So only one out of millions and millions of people will be attracted to this because of their sukriti, because of their piety, because of their spiritual bank balance that they are carrying from their previous life. Not everybody, but as devotees, the mood is to go and preach to all these people so that we can, because Vaishnava is a follower of Vishnu. Vaishnava is always very compassionate. So they are trying to distribute this love to everybody, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, irrespective of even if they have the eligibility to take it. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, the purest love. He gave without any discrimination. He gave to everybody. Right? Here today in this world we talk about discrimination. Oh, they are discriminating against this religion, that religion, right? But here in Krishna consciousness and bhakti, Krishna has, in Kali Yuga especially, it's become so merciful compassionate that the Lord is present in His names, holy names, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to give this as the treasure to everybody freely. But still, not everybody is accepting it because it is their misfortune. They don't have the spiritual credit to buy, to take this gift which is even being given freely. And yeah, we see Prabhupada saying by the year 2000, everybody will be in darkness, right? There is no windows. I was just remembering even in my office, we keep joking around. Like I work at Kroger, and in our office, in our technology office, we have only windows in one side of the building, and then all the other people who are in the back side of the building, poor, they don't even see, they can't even see fresh light. And yeah, we had a couple of buildings and same situation everywhere. So we were just joking the other day. Actually, this week only, I was telling some of my colleagues, they were complaining the same thing. Oh, we don't even, those who are sitting at the back. Luckily, fortunately for me, I sit near a window, so I can at least peek outside for some time. And yeah, always good to see natural, greenery outside. Take a look at, like just bright light outside. But yeah, like he predicted in this is 1969, Prabhupada is predicting by 2000s, people will just live in artificial light, and we are seeing that is happening already. So that is the unfortunate thing. But it is okay. Still, some things are always positive. Like in my workplace, when I sit right ahead of me, there are two wall murals. Like here in this building also there are murals. So one of the murals says that the redefining the possible is an everyday thing. That is one thing. It says redefining the possible. So when we do this bhakti, every single day we do, right? Every single day we chant, we take the holy names of the Lord, we read. So when we do this every day after day after day, then what is that saying? Redefine the possible is an everyday thing. So many people think, what will this bhakti do? What will I get out of it? But if you keep doing it day after day after day consistently, like many of our so many wonderful stories, so many real life examples, case studies from our scriptures. We have seen so many wonderful devotees like Shabari. We have given so many times example. And every single day she will be awaiting arrival of Lord Sri Ram. Every single day she would clean up. Every single day she will wipe the floor, mop. She will bring flowers. She will bring fruits, thinking that today Lord Ram will come. Right? So like that, every single day, such devotees would be worshipping, would be praying. So when we do that, then the possible, we think it is impossible, but then that becomes possible. Impossible becomes possible. We really find the possible by doing this, practicing the limbs of bhakti every day. And another mural right beside me where I sit, it says, understand the why. So that's what Prabhupada is teaching here. People have all this hodgepodge notions of spirituality, of religion, but Prabhupada is giving the genuine product, what Bhagavad Gita is saying, what Lord Krishna is saying as it is. So we have to understand the why we are doing what we are doing. As children growing up in India, many of us have been accustomed to worshipping the deities, going to temple, visiting. But if you think back, like when I was growing up, I remember, we never knew why we were doing what we were doing, right? We were just doing because our elders were telling us to do. But yeah, we would go before God. We would, at least as kids, we will wait for that small peda or some laddu, whatever prasad they will give. At least I look forward to that. And then as we grew up a little more, as when we got into higher school and college, we would just go and we'll pray. Oh Krishna, give me this. Oh, I want to get first in my exam. Oh, I want to clear this board exam. Right, so those were kind of our asks, right? So it was good, and we go, at least we go to the Lord to ask for those. But that is not true bhakti, right? I mean, that is like a business transaction we are doing with the Lord. Oh, you give me this, I will put 10 rupees into the hundi, right? So those were kind of the dealings that we had. But pure bhakti is selfless devotional service, and by reading Srila Prabhupada's books, by hearing to these lectures, we understand why, like understanding the why we are doing what we are doing. So anyway, I was just reminded of those things in my office as I sit there every day, look at those and try to Yeah, we should try to remember Krishna. It's not just every day, it's every moment. If we can get to that state, then we will get to that blissful state where we will never forget Krishna, always remember Krishna. Okay, any other thoughts, comments on today's reading? I'm very happy to be in Louisville, Aarti Mataji. I look forward to seeing you today later. And
Yes,
Shamaprabha
Prabhuji.
Mataji is also going to be here. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Looking forward to meet you all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Dandavat pranams.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I liked the one he had immense faith in Krishna, and he was so frank in giving the answers. I liked the person who asked, oh, do you believe in hell? He told frankly, yes, London is hell. So that one, and one more point, Prabhuji, that how prasadam is distributed throughout the world. I mean, all the centers in ISKCON. So that is what you told. Why we are doing this? Why we are not doing that? Why should we do this? So everything is taught in ISKCON. Why we read Bhagavad Gita? Why do we read Bhagavatam? And why do we do DT service? And why we have to preach others. So this why plays a very important role, Prabhuji. This because without meaning we'll go on doing some pujas without understanding and any meaning of in that aspect. So here in Prabhupada's movement, how nicely he explained how why we have to do that, why we have to I mean chant the holy name, and why we have to be happy, and how we have to be happy, and why we have to go back to Godhead and not stay in this miserable world. So I like all these points where Prabhupada played a very important role in preaching this consciousness to the people, Prabhuji. That's what I wanted to add.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, especially those who are intelligent will will want to understand the why. Those who are not may not be really so much interested. But yeah, at least here in the Western world, we see like people in general, they try to, like, it's not rote learning, right? Here, it's not like in India, they would just memorize everything. Here, people actually understand there's practical way of learning here. So that's why I think people appreciated so much when Prabhupada came here to the Western world. They really were kind of so much attracted and pulled word to Prabhupada because the way he was teaching them everything with such clarity of thought. And of course, like Prabhupada says, this is not just at a mental level, right? This is not just at the senses or mental. This is something that's coming from the spiritual world, and this is a natural call. So everybody will be naturally attracted. But again, those who have the fortune will get immediate benefit, and those who not, they may get benefit, at least the sound vibration goes into their ears, if not immediately, maybe after a few years, if not after a few years, at least in the next life, or maybe in the next life, at least they will get the sukriti. And with that's why we take Jagannath Rath Yatra. That's why we ask people to do Parikrama of Tulsi Maharani. So even if they're doing unwillingly, just taking those steps to take Jagannath Darshans, to do Tulsi Aarti Parikrama, those are giving them the sukriti with which, their spiritual journey will begin or will advance very soon. Yeah, like Prabhupada, when he went for that walk yesterday, when we were reading, like how lovingly he was like stopping at each tree. He was looking, he was caressing the trees as if like, he could see the soul inside the tree, so like when Krishna came, Naluku Virayam and Manigriva were freed from the curse, right, as trees. So similarly here, you could see like Prabhupada walking through that Tittenhurst, almost blessing those trees that were standing there for many centuries. I'm sure many of those would be blessed, and hopefully they will go back home, back to Godhead also. So that is the mercy of a pure devotee, that they come to give that mercy, equally to everybody, no matter what kind of living entity it is. So yes, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, any other thoughts, comments? Devika Mataji, anything you'd like to share, ask? No? okay?
No, sir, I'm okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a festival today in ISKCON Cincinnati, Jhulan. So if you're available, please go there to the center and take benefit of that wonderful festival. And we have a wonderful speaker coming from Vrindavan. He's an IIT topper. Actually, he was an, I think, IIT JEE. He was a topper in the IIT exams. And again, what is the reason that he took to this? So it'll be nice. And his maternal hometown is Vrindavan. His grace, Hari Vamshi Prabhu. So yeah, if you are in Cincinnati, please take benefit of that. All right. Okay, so I think we'll stop here. Thank you so much for your kind association on a Saturday morning. We'll end with Vaishnava Pranam prayers. So we thank all the Vaishnava Acharyas who have given us this wonderful treasure house of bhakti through the process of Guru Parampara. So we thank each one of them that they have blessed us through their learnings, through their sharing of the bhakti process, so that we can learn from them and then we can also go back home. So with full humility and gratefulness, let's thank them and thank each other. All of us are Vaishnavas once we are associated with pure devotees. So Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.